330i naturally lends itself to modification, as it's such a beautifully solid motor car. In standard form, it has a great suspension setup for lots of grip and driver feedback. And the famous inline straight six-cylinder engine remains one of the smoothest and most robust engines in the world, an ideal base for performance modification. This one was modified by Sportech, the Johannesburg-based tuning firm run by Wentzel.
Listen, I'm still shaking at the knees. I couldn't sleep last night, purely because we've got Chad Wentzel's car here today, a BMW 330 Turbo. Chad, what have you got here sitting in front of us?
Clint, we took a normal E46 BMW 330 and we stripped it down completely, rebuilt it, re-seam welded it, put a turbo motor into it, changed suspension, put different rims and tires, changed the brakes to better stopping, better performing brakes, and this is the end result.
The idea was to build the fastest 330i in the country without resorting to gas, the common term for nitrous oxide.
Yeah, I personally didn't want to run gas. I originally thought I might want to, but then when I decided not to, I wanted to have a car that's just a turbocharged car that makes unbelievable horsepower and that can do the speeds that most cars can't do.
What you're telling me is I can today have fun on the drag strip and give it a good race down the drag strip at 260 kilometers an hour, but then I can also experience the dynamics of it and take it out into the circuit.
The spec was to be able to drive this car on the road, come onto the track, do some good quick laps and enjoy yourself, or do some really fancy quarter-mile speeds or top-end speeds.
Turbocharging was the obvious way to go, but the challenge was to fit all the extras into an already tight engine compartment.
Well, Clint, we had to mount the turbo in an area where there was enough space for us, as the motor takes so much space inside this engine compartment. And the only place was next to the engine, against the right front turret. We also put the wastegate down below next to the turbo. It runs a pop-off valve.
Chad, what is the wastegate?
The wastegate allows us not to overboost the turbo. And the pop-off valve allows us to get all the excess air out of the system.
Right, so it's that beautiful sound when you come off the gas.
Yes, Clint, it's that big whoosh noise of the excess air that's in the system that's been released.
With the wastegate, dump valve, intercooler, surely this vehicle must produce a hell of a lot of heat. Do you have a problem with getting rid of the heat under the bonnet like this?
Clint, there was definitely a problem initially, and we had to clear the turbo with a lot of protective products to stop the heat from going up into the bonnet and melting the paint off the bonnet.
This here, shiny everywhere. What is that all about?
What we done was we took the original single intake throttle body off, and we put the individual throttle bodies on the car. We also took the original intake manifold off because it's made out of plastic, and as it starts to boost, they actually explode at 0.6 bar boost. And we're running this car at 1.2 bars, and we needed to manufacture a product that would handle that boost. We've also changed the fueling system on the car, where we're running these big 550cc injectors, and we have this system, the fuel pressure regulator, to allow to pump that fuel through that system. That's where all the braided hosing comes in. It's all top quality race material we've put into the car.
Any heating problems with the water cooling system actually cooling the motor off?
We were very lucky with the overheating side of it. We had to run a different oil cooler to keep the oil temperatures down, but we seem to be okay with the water temperatures. We obviously had to put the big intercooler in the front to keep
so this is all different.
Yes,
well.
Absolutely. Also all hand manufactured, and we were concerned about it being in front, which might take a lot of the cooling away from the radiator, but we seem to be okay with it, and it seems to be working perfectly.
The car is also about show and sports a full Sportech kit, including side sills, front and rear deep bumpers, bonnet vents, rear wing and flared wheel arches.
Clint, we put the wheel arches on to change the look of the car, to make the car look more squat and more aggressive. And then we had the rims specifically manufactured to suit actually the wheel arches, to bring them out wider. That's what we had done.
The car runs special Tarox brakes with 10-piston calipers and huge grooved and ventilated discs. The wheels are 3-piece 18-inch ROH alloys with Yokohama street race rubber, 235 by 40s in front and 265 by 35s at the rear.
We needed to run a much bigger tire on the rear to help us get the power on the road, otherwise we just constantly have wheel spin.
With now all the grip on the back, is it not going to sacrifice the grip on the front?
It does affect it, but the whole idea is to get this power down because it's a fast car. And the other thing, it also looks very good from the back with these big 265 Yokohama tires sitting at the bottom of the car.
Sparco racing seats, a Sportech pedal cluster, a racing steering wheel with an airbag, and special gear knob and handbrake levers complete the look. And if this isn't entertaining enough, there's a mega Kenwood and Rockford sound system and a DVD player for those moments when you feel like getting away from it all in the cockpit of a radical street racer.
Hang tight. In second gear, just completely mind-blowing experience. I mean, in a matter of 2 seconds, I'm already going 160 kilometers an hour. Obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but when it puts you back in your seat and you hear that dump valve, you know that you're in a serious racing car, but it's still road legal. No wonder it's one of the quickest BMWs in South Africa at the moment. The suspension is got leather suspension in, got iBox springs, so it has been hardened a little bit, giving me that real racy ride and comfortable, stable ride. Down onto the power, into fourth gear. I tell you, she is just taking now 200 kilometers an hour, 220 kilometers an hour into fifth gear, hard onto the brakes. Hopefully it slows this car down. Look at that. Just unbelievable the way it slows this car down. That's the reason why you need such effective braking. Just got to be a little bit careful in the front. She tends to understeer a little bit, but obviously for straight line speed and what Chad actually does with a vehicle like this, he races it in a straight line. But he does drive it every single day, and he said he would soften the suspension a little bit just to make it more comfortable and an easier ride as an everyday car, which he does use it for. So well done to Chad. It's something absolutely awesome as far as power is concerned.